like that. What do we see on film? How do they check it? What are their hand signals? Which always trying to find that stuff out. And then, where do we want to go with our games? Do we not know where the center's going? Do we know? Do we need to run a complement on both sides if we're running a twist? Or do we know right now that we're going to get slide away from the back? We can run the twist to the back every single time. Or they're protecting their right tackle every time. Let's always run a twist to their right tackle. We're always trying to figure out where are we trying to game plan our movements, our twists. If we're going to bring an extra hat, where are we bringing them from? And then can we win with 3 this week? If we can, let's play some coverage and let's get home. Can we not win with 3 this week? Do we have to rush 4? And then if we can't get there, do we have to have some bought-in blitzes to get home to make sure we're putting some pressure on the quarterback? But as we look at it, that's kind of how we game plan it going into a Wednesday meeting. Do you guys have any questions on the game plan stuff or the O-line study stuff?
I do, yeah. Just obviously being an offensive guy, the bullet point about using different fronts, and presentations, how important is it to you? Or, I guess maybe it just depends on, the DC and kind of his philosophy, but using, hey, we're a base 4-down team, but we're getting into these 3-man fronts. Is it ultimately to get back to the 4-man structure that we, our kids know, and that's how they're going to attack it? Or is, do you find it, like, hey, no, it's just totally separate, it's a game by game situation, how we're planning it out. Like if we're running a 3 front, we're not trying to get back to 4-man kind of principles or whatever.
So first and second down, we're going to do what we do. Even if we get to a 3-down, we're eventually getting back to our normal run fits off of it. We're getting back into our normal, base alignments. Now it might be a linebacker in the B gap now, or it might be a safety off the edge now or something like that. But our fits are going to stay consistent with how we always fit things. When we get in that third and pass presentation, we're like, hey, like last year, Rhode Island, I think ran the ball twice on 3rd and 4+. We played them the 11th game of the year. We were like, all right, let's figure out how do we attack their protection right now. Like we can get exotic. We can bring different packages on the field. We can be 3D linemen. We can be 2D linemen. We can be 5D linemen. Let's try to figure out where are the matchups, who do we want to isolate, and how do we want to attack them. So at that point, we get completely away from what our base stuff would be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's kind of some of our stuff right here. And anytime you guys get a question, just slow me down and stop me here. But so last year, this kid was with the Ravens. He's a free agent right now looking for a home. And then this kid's with the Colts right now. This guy right here is 6'3", 6'3.5", 270, 275 pounds. The kid on the other side, he's 6'3", 225, 230 pounds. Very different players. The kid on the left, I'd say he's a speed rusher. That's his go-to. The guy on the right is more of a power angle rusher. So when we game plan them, you'll see the guy on the left, the first thing he's going to do is he's trying to launch off the ball as fast as he possibly can to beat 70 to his spot. Number 5, you're going to see him come off the ball and stutter immediately, trying to find the lean and the balance of the offensive lineman. And that's basically what he was going to do almost all the time. It was either that or a long arm off the ball. Where 7, you were going to get this from him, 85% of the snaps that we were going to see. Now, as we go into it, the first thing we talked about was vision. So as we come up to the ball, the first thing we're seeing, our guys are looking. You guys see the center right now. He sits back, he leans, he points. We know right now it's pass based on studying this football team. So at that point, our guys know we don't have to worry. And this is 1st and 10. This is a rundown situation. They're high red zone or just outside the high red. So at this point, we're, not really in a pass rush situation until we get that indicator. So now we can change up our splits, our alignments, and now we want to study our guys. At this point, if I'm the left end, I am looking directly at that. That's what's telling me when to go. And you'll see the first thing that moves on film right there. The first thing that goes is the knee triggers. The second that knee triggers, and why we key the near knee, is the near knee is going to trigger, and then it's on a string with that elbow. The elbow is now where I want my vision to get to, because if that elbow, and I think 7 thought he could just run by this kid. I think he was a freshman 70. So in what we teach, he's dead wrong on this. And what I feel like is anytime that elbow drops, you can see it right there, like he's opening a door behind him. I feel like now all that's going to happen is a flyby. The quarterback's going to slide up. You're not going to be able to get to that 7-yard mark or 6.5-yard mark where the quarterback's comfortable in the pocket. And now you're going to get a flyby, which happens in this situation. To me, he should go to a long arm right now or a power rush, because now that guy has no post. He has no base. But he tries to hit that flyby. That's his go-to. He tries to hit a SWAT salute. We talk about with the same hand, getting rid of the hands and ripping. Now on the backside, you're going to see 5. That elbow stays square. So anytime we get that elbow square, he neutralizes his movement by stuttering. We now say you want to transition this into a speed rush. So now he's going to transition. He's a club rip, club punch guy all the time. He opens his hips, hits the club, rips off of it, and he's now going to get the sack. But that's kind of how we talk to our guys about seeing that knee, and you see both tackles. If I look at this guy over here behind that upright, that knee is the first thing that triggers. Everything follows hand with that. After that, I can tell what type of set I'm getting. If he's opening the door on me, I want a long arm. If he's staying vertical and staying square like this tackle over here, I now want to hit my speed rush based off my initial movement. So that's why he's working that game. Now inside, what I would really like to see, and we bust on this one just a little bit. All right,